Hello, everybody. Hello, my love. So, I wanted to come on here today and talk about ascended Egyptian frequencies. This is something that is hitting the earth right now, these ascended Egyptian frequencies. And I want to explain to you why this is the time for that and what it means and how it might be affecting you personally as well. So the first thing is, why are we moving into, there's different wavelengths that hit Earth, as we all know, solar flares, but things come through from higher dimensional frequencies as well. So we have lots of different interesting energies that kind of wave over the Earth in order to help us. And I mean, the higher dimensional frequencies and wavelengths are here to help us. And then we've obviously got the 3D inorganic matrix grid, which is sending things into the collective that isn't super helpful, but you get the idea that there's always these energies that are entering into the collective. And I wanted to talk with you about the new energy that is really coming in strongly for 2025, and it is the ascended Egyptian frequency. And I want to tell you why. So here's scientifically what is happening, so stay with me on this. So Gaia, Mother Earth, our planet, has a precession cycle that she follows. Okay, picture a circle, and Gaia moves from the top down to the dark ages and then back up to the top again. And so that is called the precession cycle. You can Google this and you can learn so much about it, and it's going to explain so much about your own ascension journey, spiritual journey, and awakening as well. When you are on a planet that is constantly moving through this cycle over and over and over again, it really depends upon when you come to Earth as to what experiences you will have, what the frequency will be like. Because Gaia is a school, Earth is a very advanced school. She's not always in the easy, oh, beautiful golden era, come on in, everybody just have a party. Oftentimes she's in one of these lower frequencies, right? So our last golden era was Lemuria, which many of you probably know about, right? So think about, again, a circle and little Gaia moving around the circle. Very top, golden era, Lemuria. Okay, then she started to fall down into her descension, Atlantis. Then she fell a little further, ancient Egypt. Then we really fell down, Dark Ages, medieval times, all of that. We started to kind of get out of the medieval rising, but we're still not doing great witch hunts and that kind of stuff, and then we're slowly rising back up, right? So the interesting thing about this circle is there's half of it is a descension path and half of it is an ascension path, our planet, right? And again, because Gaia is a school, she never stops. Once we get to our golden era, that's not it. That's not the end of the journey. She'll probably be there for around 2,000 years. And then she'll slowly start to descend again. It's not a bad thing. Earth is built to be a school. It's a very unique planet. And so what I wanted to say was this half, her little descension path down that she experienced, and now we're on this half, the ascension path upwards. Wherever we fall on this half, whatever is directly across from it is a similar energy. So that means that when we fell down to, Lemuria, Atlantis, ancient Egypt, that puts us about here. So we've got a little ways to come up to be in a full golden era, which is where everyone, it's a global ascension. Everyone's crystalline. Everyone's got all these incredible gifts that are coming through. Our lifespans are longer. The earth is different. A lot of the times during a golden era, the continents shift as well. So there's a lot of changes to come, but just so you know, where we're about at, we're mirroring the ancient Egyptian of old, but on an ascension path, because that was a descension path and we're on an ascension path. So ascended Egyptian frequencies. So that means that the gods, goddesses, ascended masters, whomever was, on Earth at that time or involved with humanity at that time is back, right? So personally, I've seen this with me working with Hathor, me working with Isis, and let me know in the chat if you are working with any ancient Egyptian gods or goddesses. I know a lot of people work with Ra, Osiris. I mean, it just goes on, and you can let me know what you think about that. But for me personally, it's the priestess path. And so I had this download probably like more than a year ago, definitely more than a year ago. This has been a while. On my list of things that I want to do in my business was this Egyptian course, right? Years ago, I wrote this down on my list, and it's always there. I always think about it, but it's just not quite, there was something missing, and I never want to do something if it doesn't feel completely perfectly aligned and it's going to help people. There was just something missing, right? So then here's something that happened. So then I go to this antique warehouse with my husband, and we are shopping antiques, looking for things to add to our new beautiful home. And I didn't see this. I have to give Brian the credit. He fully saw an Egyptian papyrus print encased in plexiglass, like really ugly, but encased to protect it, and like hidden behind like a stack of other paintings. How he possibly saw or found this, I don't even know. And he found it, and he's like, I don't know, when I saw it, like I thought of you. Like I thought, oh, Jenny needs this. And so he called me over and he showed it to me, and I was like, whoa, like I do need that. I don't know why I need it, but I do need it. Like I don't care how much it is, I need it. And so we get it home, and again, it's encased in this plexiglass, hideous. So I order some beautiful frames, and I order some things to make it look really nice. And then when all of the frames and the backing and the matting and all the things arrive, we have to crack it out of this plexiglass, right? Well, when we crack it out of the plexiglass, there's this moment of like the frequency being released after being encased for so long. And I felt it like you would feel a download. You know what a download feels like pressure in the ear, my ear's popping, I don't know, something like, what is that? I don't know. I didn't exactly know what was happening. I just felt something. And then I just went through with, framing it. And that night, as I'm trying to fall asleep, all of these voices, words, information about this course dropped in like the entire curriculum dropped in like an hour. And I definitely like could not fall asleep because of it. In fact, do you want to see the painting? Should I take you over there? Is there a way to turn the camera around on this? I think there is. Let me figure this out. I want to show you the literal painting that I'm talking about. Let me see. Are we going to turn around? Ah, we did it. Okay, here we go. So this is the actual painting right here. Oh, the glare is terrible. All right, so it has like, this is all like metallic in here. This is all metallic. This is Hathor, right? So this is Hathor that came in. So just have a nice look at this. Literally gave me like the biggest, craziest energetic download. I don't know who this is. I don't think it's Isis. I know that that's Hathor. I think this is just one of her priestesses making an offering to her. Someone said to me they think this could be olive oil. I've also got a symbolic tree happening here with some flames on top. I really need to channel this painting. Like, I need to channel what it all means. But for now, it's given me this incredible download and see the frame I put it in, this beautiful, like ancient kind of golden frame. Got a nice little feather beside it for a vibe. So that's where it all kind of started, right? Let me turn this back around. Okay. So something that I was really wanting to do anyway, finally dropped in. Let me just hook my phone back up here. Okay. So I hope that worked out and I didn't lose anybody. So that really dropped in after cracking the plexiglass off of this painting. It was like suddenly all these Egyptian vibes came through so strong. And I built the most incredible curriculum that I want to take a group of priestesses through. So one of the downloads that came through was that there are ancient Egyptian priestesses on the earth right now, like reincarnated here. They were literally in ancient Egypt and they've reincarnated and now they're here on earth at this specific time for a reason. Because they knew that, again, with the whole Gaia's precession cycle, her own cycle of ascension and descension, it's like our souls obviously knew when the earth was going to hit that alignment to the Egyptian energy. And so all the Egyptian priestesses were like, I want to be on earth at that time, send me in. Like when the Egyptian energy is renewed, but in an ascended path versus a descended path, send me in, I'm ready to go, right? And that's what it is. Like, that's literally what it is. That's why we're here. And there's so much that we're here to do, to help women reclaim the power that has been stripped from them, literally since like the witch trials. There's so many sisterhood wounds, and there's so much 3D programming directed at diminishing women. And so this is really a beautiful course for the priestesses, for the sisters. And we're going to be going through 2 different initiations. We're going to be going through an initiation with Hathor, and then we're going to be going through an initiation with Isis, the 2 priestesses that I've been working with. And the amazing thing about them is that they are kind of 2 sides of a coin, like they're opposites in a way. Hathor is solar, golden, sun goddess. And then Isis is lunar, dark, moon goddess, right? And so they have different things to teach us. But here's why it's important to have both the light and the shadow versions of something, right? The divine feminine, like frequency, the embodiment of the divine feminine is not truly whole unless you have both. Divine feminine means light and shadow together, in embodiment of that feminine expression. Your sun and your moon, and we all as women have that. And so, sorry, I missed a comment here. I'm one of these priestesses. Amazing. My higher self told me exactly the same information. Oh my God, that is such a beautiful confirmation. So I want to keep this, it's a very specific, obviously, very specific, unique program. It's just going to be 4 weeks together, and I want to keep it intimate, so not a lot of people, and I want to keep it with the sisters, the priestesses. And I want to tell you a little bit about what we're going to do together. So first of all, we're going to go through the initiation of Hathor. So the initiation of Hathor, let me just grab here, I've got the curriculum of what I'm actually going to be doing in that course with people. The initiation of Hathor is, the very first thing that we're going to be doing is calling in Hathor to activate the Golden Solar Priestess template. So you have different templates in your body. I know that you already know this. You could have the template of a healer. You could have the template of a channeler. You could have the template of so many things. But this is a specific priestess template. This is the Golden Solar Priestess template. And it's very connected to the Grand Central Sun, which is the most powerful force of ascension in the entire universe. Like the Grand Central Sun, you think about solar flares, right? Like our own little sun that we have. I know it's not little, but you know it is. Our own little sun creates so much hubbub with its solar flares, creating like all this, like solar flares are known, proven scientifically to create evolution. They will evolve animals, they will evolve nature, they will evolve humanity. That's how evolution happens. It's through the DNA changes that happen because of solar flares. Now imagine our sun, and then imagine the Grand Central Sun. It doesn't get bigger than that. It's a giant portal to the other suns. All suns are portals to each other. And the Grand Central Sun is the crystalline activation, right? That's the evolution that you would experience from connecting with the Grand Central Sun. It would be crystalline, the highest evolution possible. So week 1 inside of the program is called Awaken the Egyptian Priestess Within. Awaken the Egyptian Priestess Within. The first week is the Golden Solar Priestess Temple of Hathor. So we're going to be calling on Hathor to activate that template she's going to be using Kundalini fire. If you've never experienced Kundalini fire before, oh my God, it is like, it'll send you straight to the moon. It is like the embodiment of God's self. It's like the highest perspective that you can have. It's like looking down over your life and everyone else and being like, oh, okay, now I know why everything's happening the way that it is. It's like the highest perspective you can have. Anyway, We're going to be, so this is week 1 with Hathor. Then we're going to be doing a sacred journey to the Grand Central Sun, obviously. Then when we're at the Grand Central Sun, we're going to be installing the Advanced Healer template. Hathor priestesses are healers. They just are. And so they want us to, if you're a Hathor priestess and that's what we're awakening, then that needs to be awakened in you as well. So it's the Advanced Healer template. And for that, they're going to be using golden plasma. Hathor will be using golden plasma from the Grand Central Sun to activate the Advanced Healer template. And then we're going to be doing a divine, this is all week 1, then we're going to be doing a divine union inside of your body of your own feminine and masculine flame. So one of the biggest problems a lot of women have is being imbalanced in our feminine to masculine energy. We tend to actually be a lot more in our masculine, many of us, especially if you're like a business owner, right? And so we're going to be using this golden plasma and these Kundalini fire to merge the masculine center in the body, which is the solar plexus, and the feminine center in the body, which is the sacral. And we're going to be merging those two together, creating a beautiful bridging of those two together. And then we're going to be doing crystalline wavelength upgrades. Again, that would be from the Grand Central Sun. So that's just week 1. That's all the Solar Priestess of Hathor. Week 2, then we get into the Dark Lunar Priestess. This is the Temple of Isis, okay? So this is calling in Isis to activate that template within you, Dark Lunar Priestess template. To do it, she's going to be using the wild within. So the wild is this unbelievable phenomenon that women carry within them. It's like a raw and wild magic, and it's generally found in the sacral, and it has been like stamped out, right, from women through patriarchy and through church stuff and through the witch hunts. But the wild is like this deep, lush forest of creation, and it's in the sacral womb, and it's your ability to be a creator of your own reality in a way that's like a spellcaster of your own reality, basically. It's beyond manifestation into becoming a spellcaster of your own reality using the wild. So that is what Isis is going to be using to activate the template of the Dark Lunar Priestess, the wild within. Then we're going to be getting a lesson. I'm going to be giving a lesson on sex magic and moon cycle magic for the divine feminine manifestation. So that's a lesson on how to manifest using the womb. And the womb has many different ways that we can use it. And again, sex magic and moon cycle for manifestation. And then we're going to be connecting to Gaia. So this is again still working with Isis, connecting to Gaia, her infinite field of creation. Gaia is like a priestess, our Mother Earth. She is a creator being. She's created every body on the, every human, every animal, every the nature kingdom, animal kingdoms. Gaia is a creator. And so we're going to be really connecting deeply into Gaia, her infinite fields of creation, and the realm of elemental mana. So if you've never heard of elemental mana before, oh my goodness, it is so cool. So mana is like little bits of magic that are kind of free floating in our atmosphere. And back in the times of Avalon, which was like an ancient time on Earth, this magic was very powerful and people knew how to connect to it. So it didn't go dormant. If you don't connect to a certain field of magic, it does tend to kind of go dormant, and then it's harder to connect with or harder to reach. But at the time during Avalon, everyone was connecting to that. So, Avalon was a time of witches, wizards, dragons, unicorns, fae, elven beings, sprites. It was a beautiful time on Earth. It's where all of our fairy tales come from, basically. And so they were using elemental mana. They were elementals, and there's elemental realms still here on Earth. It's just that we can't see it or tap into it. You can have worlds within worlds kind of stacked on top of each other. But if you aren't of a matching frequency, you can't perceive of it, but it is there. And so working with Isis, we're going to be connecting to Gaia's infinite fields of creation and the realm of that elemental mana, because that elemental mana is like concentrated, potent fuel for your magic creation, like your creation magic, being a sovereign creator, right? And then the last thing that we're going to be doing with Isis in week 2 is opening the womb of creation portal. So again, in the sacral, there is a portal now in the sacral and that portal goes directly to the Great Mother of the Void. Okay, so what is that, right? Let me explain. So whenever people see source, they always just see like this bright ball of light, like the sun. That would be like the masculine version of source. But there is also a feminine version of source. And they work together, like it's all one thing. But most people just see the masculine ball of light like a sun. But there is a void, a black void of pure potential, and it is the feminine version. It is the womb of the universe or of the multiverse, and everything comes out of it. So if the masculine form of source is the creator, like almost sends in the seed to the womb, sends in the intentions and the energies and the frequencies, but the womb births the creations, the beings, the planets, the galaxies. It comes out of the womb of creation. And all black holes are connected to that as well. So we're going to be connecting as women. We have a portal to that through our own womb. We are literally like also a void. Like I call it the Great Mother of the Void, and that's like a version of source, the feminine version of source. We are that as women. Understand that your womb is a portal to the void, that where all creation and matter comes from. All souls, all beings, all planets, all stars come out of the void. You have a doorway to that in your womb, and that's how you can bring babies into this world, right? So that's how we're going to be connecting to the Great Mother of the Void. It's going to be a very intense week, all about being the creator of your own reality in all of these different ways and activating you and initiating you into that. Okay, so week 3 of this beautiful Awaken the Egyptian Priestess Within course. Week 3 is Ancient Egypt Akashic Remembrance. Like I want you to remember your own story, right? Like what was your priestess story? What happened to you when you were in ancient Egypt? What is inside of your Akashic records around that? So I'm going to do a guided Akashic journey to your own ancient Egyptian lifetime. And then directly following that, we're going to do post-journey divinely channeled confirmations from me. So I'm going to be asking each sister to share, and then I'm going to be channeling, tuning in. Okay, yes, I understand what you saw. Let me fill in the blanks for you. Let me confirm this for you so that you get like a really good idea of what your ancient Egyptian lifetime was like and the details that you're looking for. Okay, and then week 4, the last week, is going to be the Egyptian Priestess Light Language activation. My friggin' favorite. I am all about soul language. So the first thing we're going to do is a group channeling of the light language of Hathor, followed by Isis. And then here's where it gets really magical. I'm going to activate each sister into her own personal Egyptian soul language. So that means the layer of the soul when you were living in ancient Egypt has a voice, has a song, has a story, has a language, and we're going to be activating you into speaking that language again. And it is so powerful because you can use soul language as a transmission for healing, activations, upgrades, clearing. I use light language to clear items, like, for instance, I was talking about going to like the thrift store and getting that painting. I would clear it with like my own soul language. So I use my soul language for a lot. Raise my frequency, clearing my home items, my body, activating, upgrading. Like there's just so much that you can do with soul language. So that's going to be probably my favorite week for sure. So I just wanted to bring some depth to this course and help the sisters and the reincarnated Egyptian priestesses to understand what this course is all about, where it came from, why now is like the optimum time, Ascension speaking, as Gaia moves through that precession cycle and we realign to that Egyptian energy, but this time on the ascended path versus the descended path. As we do that, we have access to all of this Egyptian, think rituals, sacred rites, chanting, light language, soul language, spell casting, working with these priestesses, these initiations are going to be so powerful and so life-changing. So if you feel like this is for you, please go check out link in bio for the Awaken the Egyptian Priestess Within. We are starting this month. We're starting soon. So now is the time to get in. If you'll see the curriculum and everything there. There's some really, really super convenient payment plans. So it's easy, convenient. And if you have any questions about if this is right for you, then come into my DMs. I would love to have a chat with you about, if this fits for you, because I understand this is very unique, and I will help you to determine if this makes sense for you or not. But for the people that it's for, I understand this is a niche course and it's not for everybody, but for the people that it is for, the level of like evolution that is going to happen through the Grand Central Sun with Hathor, through the Great Mother of the Void with Isis, through your own story from ancient Egypt, through your own soul language, it's really going to be something that you remember for the rest of your life. And it's going to alter your frequency, which alters your genetic makeup and everything. So you're going to be magic as fuck, basically. And I'm so excited for it. So I've just started talking about it, and I'm going to start to gather up some priestesses and have like a nice intimate group to take through this. And again, I'd love to see you inside. So come on into the DMs and we can chat about it. I have a client at 4, so I need to drop off, but I love you all so much. I hope you're having a great day. Bye, everyone.